Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what I have here for you today is the Klarus G20 3000 lumen floodlight in your pocket. Yes, you heard me correctly. 3000 lumens, holding just like a cigar here. Pretty incredible. It's a handheld floodlight, lack of a better term. Portable, can be put in your pocket. Has some other really unique features, including two switches, so you can turn it on like here at the Tailcap if that's your thing, or you could turn it on and off here on the side switch. You could sort of operate it from both ends. Pretty cool. It's powered by a rechargeable 26650 battery. It has a little USB or micro USB charging port right there, so you don't need to buy any kind of special charger. And inside, a 5000 milliamp hour battery, that's included. Pretty neat. So how much does this cost? Well, GearBest has brought it to us for the amazing low price of $99, and I provide the link in the description box below. So now the question we need to be asking ourselves is it worth it? Full disclosure here, GearBest did send me this for review, but it will in no way affect my review. I always give you the good and bad. You all know me. Here's the box that it came in. Don't know if you want to freeze frame it or not, but I'm going to go ahead and just sort of pan it up and down just a little bit. Important stuff right there. And inside the box came a little pouch here. It says Klarus on it. Every time I see this, I want to start humming Planet Claire. I bet you some people know that song, Planet Claire. And you can see it could go on your belt right there. It's an okay little pouch or whatever. It's nothing to write home about. I mean, it's, you know, your typical nylon, but it's single stitched here, so what that means is once that one stitch that's coming out, it's going to unravel. So it's not double stitched super good, but it's pretty good for a little pouch there. Alright, so we have a manual. Pretty well written, by the way. I did read it, and they got this thing going on where Klarus promotion, design promotion, where you could win something. I don't know. I'll let you freeze frame that really quick. Interesting. This was inside the flashlight. You pull it this way, the battery would start working. This paper sort of got in the way of the contact, so it can't inadvertently turn on while it's in the box shipping. You get a lanyard right there wrapped up. I don't use them. And you get a USB recharging cord. Pretty nice one. Alright, and of course you get the flashlight. So let's go ahead and start running down the flashlight. Let's start with the main part, and that is the light source, which is a Cree XHP70 emitter. You could tell that it's that because those type of emitters have 4 cells in there, and you can see those cells. You have an orange Peel Reflector. That means this is a floodlight. It's not really designed to be a thrower, because that helps disperse the light. Now, on top of that, you can see there's a glass lens with a anti-reflective coating. You can see the little purple right there. That means it's anti-reflective, or it has the anti-reflective coating. You have a steel bezel. And the reason why you have the steel bezel is if you do hit things with the front, it's not going to dent as easy as the aluminum alloy body with the black anodized finish. You have some nice knurling here. It's not spectacular or anything. It gives you a little bit of traction, but not too much. As far as the ability to stop it from rolling, nope. It does make a nice pattern there on the camera, but it doesn't stop rolling. There's no huge heat dissipating fins, which is kind of strange to me, because being able to put out 3000 lumens, you would think it can do, have some way of dissipating heat, but I guess it's going to do it all electronically, and we'll test that out here on camera for you. Now, to put the battery in, it's quite simple. All you do is just unscrew the head, which I did at the beginning of this video. You can see they gave you that free 5,000 milliamp hour 26650 battery. This gives you amazing runtime and power, and we'll be going over those here shortly. But this is a ordinary battery, nothing special there. You can see you have a gasket and some threads. There is there any grease? There appears to be just a little bit of grease. It's not overly done in any way. You can see a little more right there on the O-ring. Take a look there. Everything looks like it's well done. Is it smooth? We could take a look there and see if it's smooth. Yeah, it's pretty smooth. Just make sure that's tight, because we are going to test this to make sure it's waterproof, by the way. On the base, you can see there's two holes if you want to attach that lanyard, and there's a button here and there's a button here. Both of them can turn this on and off and cycle through most of the modes. Now there are some slight differences in the way these two buttons act, and we'll talk about that. Over here underneath this little rubber door, you can see it's a micro USB port there, so you can use that to charge the flashlight. So you don't need any kind of special charger for the 2650, right? 26650 battery. We could go ahead and, whoops, I inadvertently turned it on. Just go ahead and put that there, and you can see it's charging. The little light comes on there on the side button to let you know it's charging. Pretty neat. And when you're done, by the way, it does operate, two of the modes do operate while it's plugged in, so it sort of has a bypass or a pass-through or whatever, so you can use it while it's actually charging. Pretty cool. So you got that light there. So this light, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. You can see that it kind of orange right now. It is a battery indicator switch. If it's green, it's 70% to 100% battery. If it's between 30 to 70%, it's yellow like it is now. And then if it turns red, you're less than 30. And if it starts blinking, you're less than 10%. So you have a nice battery indicator right there. So let's talk about the operation of this flashlight. You could turn it on using either the tail, voila, see? And to turn it off, you press and hold it. So you hit it, turns it on, press and hold it, turn it off. Same thing up here. Press it, whatever. Whoops, and we turn it off. There we go. Okay, now if you notice, it came on really bright when I hit this one. The reason why is, like I said, these buttons act differently. This one always turns it on the lowest setting when you use the Tailcap button. And we'll turn that off. This one up here has a memory, so whatever setting, like if I go ahead and bring this up to the turbo mode and I press and hold it to turn it off, when I turn it back on, it's going to come back on in that turbo. So you have the memory functionality on this button over here, whereas you don't have, it always comes on low here. Now as far as modes are concerned, because I already gave away some of the modes, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and every time you click it, it cycles through the modes. So you have low, medium, high, turbo. See? Low, medium, high, turbo. And then to turn it off, press and hold. Now if you double click it, it's going to give you the strobe. So look away if that freaks you out. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there's your strobe, and it does it changes frequency to a fast, slow. And if you double click it again, it goes to SOS. Pretty cool. And we'll press and hold it, turn it off. Whoops. There. Oh, you just click it. When it's doing those two special modes, just one click will turn it off. And then if you turn it on, it's going to remember whatever the last setting was there on the upper one, where on this one it always comes on low, right? By the way, you could access that strobe mode also down here. Double click it. See? And so you could access the strobe and SOS down here also. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about one of the cons of this flashlight right now up front. This side button sticks out a little bit. That's a good thing and bad thing. Good thing is, in the dark when you're trying to feel around for a button, you could feel the side button if that's the one you want to use. However, it sticks out. So watch. If you're rolling it, now I'm pressing, by the way, so you got to make a concerted effort. See how I'm cycling through the modes just by doing that. Also, if you have it in the holster or pouch, I don't know where I put it, is it possible to turn on and off while it's sitting in there? Well, we can find out. If I face the button out in this direction, can it? Yes. You can see it's actually turning on. Yes. Alright, so if you put it into the pouch, make sure you turn the button off to the side, or you put it in there where it's not going to hit on the outside. So I suggest that you position this button carefully, or I don't know if putting it up, facing up might help. And then sort of move it over to the side like that. There you go. This way you know where the button is, and you'll also be able to tell if it's on. So I don't like that. Now, if you're worried about that, Klarus did put a lockout in here. So if you press and hold both the tail cap button and the side button at the same time, like I'm doing right now, see how it double blinked? Now it's locked out. See? And it's doing that little red light blinking thing to let you know it's locked. See that? Whoop, I put my finger in the way. So, it's locked. It won't turn on until you click it 4 times like I just did. And once you click it 4 times, it unlocks it. So, again, to lock it, press and hold both buttons. It's going to give you a double click. It's going to be locked. Now, if you click it 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to go ahead and unlock it and bring it back to life. Now we'll go ahead and run through the 6 modes of operation and the runtime and amount of lumens for each of those 6 modes. We'll start out with low, and I just want you to take note of the angle of the flood and the spot while we're running through these. So at the low setting you have 15 lumens at 150 hours. I went ahead and put all these numbers right up here for you, just in case you don't want to listen to me. Next is medium, which is 160 lumens for 19 hours. High, 650 lumens for 4.5 hours. And turbo, which is 3,000 lumens for 45 minutes. Again, note the spot, note the flood, the angle. Looks like about 50 degrees out in all directions there, and the spot is staying pretty skinny. We'll take a look at this outside and see how it all looks. Let's go ahead and do strobe. Strobe, again, you could go into these modes either when it's off or when it's on. Just do a double click, and it's 3,000 lumens, going to do it for an hour and a half. Hit the double click again, it's going to do the SOS at 160 lumens for 51 hours. Then we'll go ahead and click it. It'll take it out of that mode, and because this button does the memory, it went back to turbo because that's the last mode, normal mode that we left it in. And how do we turn it off? We press and hold it. I'm going to go ahead and shine this down onto the surface, and we'll bring it up a little bit just so you can see what that flood and spot look like. And you can see it's a nice clean light. There's no strange artifacts of any sort. It does have a little bit of a interesting thing on the outside due to the reflection on the stainless steel bezel. So you do have a little bit of strange. It's not perfectly circular here. Doesn't affect it in any way. And again, it's a nice clean light. Before we run outside, I want to just go over that this is impact resistant to 1 meter. And it's waterproof to the IPX8 standard, which puts it where you can put it underwater for 2 meters. That's 6.5 feet. Also, you have a lot of protections built into this flashlight. You have overheating, over temperature, reverse polarity, over current, just to name a few. I think there's like a total of 9. So in my backyard, this fence line here is about 15 to 20 yards, give or take. And I'm just going to go ahead and shine this flashlight downrange. We're going to start out with the low setting. We'll just go ahead and click it. And you can see it doesn't make too much of a difference. Then we'll bring it up to medium, already an impact. Then high. And ready for it? Turbo. Wow. Okay, so you can see what 3,000 lumens looks like. That is just crazy. Look at that. Look at that. And you can see, again, how floody the light is. I'm going to direct it away. You can see how it just lights up my whole backyard away. I'll bring it in. I'm going to have the spot right on the stairs there. You could see See how I'm putting the spot on the stairs? You can see how far out that flood comes. So you're looking at about half the light. Bring it to the middle and it lights up the whole frame. So let's go ahead and look downrange. Now again, because of the orange Peel Reflector, it's not a thrower, it's a flooder. But because of the sheer amount of power, that 3000 lumens, it can definitely throw some light downrange. We'll go ahead and just sort of look way into the woods there. And quite amazing. Now I'm going to back out and you can just see how freaking crazy that amount of light is. I didn't even have it where I was pointing, but you could see how it's all the way down in there. We'll go ahead and shine it up on some trees here. I don't have too many more leaves left over, but wow, look at that. So top of those trees, no problem. Quite amazing. I'm going to go ahead and take this down here. Pretty neat, huh? I'm back! And my lighting's all messed up, right? Well, thankfully I have my Klarus G20 and it can tail stand. And look at that. Lights up the whole room because it tail stands. So it just basically reflects the light off the ceiling and you have a room light in your pocket. Just wanted to take a look here. There is no water or anything got in there. It stayed waterproof, really solid, really nice, very impressive. So one thing I failed to point out was on the side here where you charge, that can use a 2 amp charger, which means this can charge from empty to full in 4 hours. That's pretty impressive. So it does a fast charging thing. So as far as cons, the only thing I can come up with is this button. This button on the side can inadvertently be pressed, and it doesn't take much pressure to do it, to be honest. It really doesn't. Doesn't take too much pressure to hit that. So you need to be mindful of that. If that's something that concerns you, then this is not your flashlight. Other than that, 3000 lumens for $99. Extremely good build quality. As a matter of fact, I would classify it as outstanding build quality. There is no flaws in this thing at all. The only thing that I tend to like in my flashlights is a crown bezel. Look at that. But there is no, you know, they give you a steel bezel, but it's not a crown bezel. So I can't classify this as a tactical flashlight. That's why I'm classifying this as a portable floodlight, which it does perfectly. Now, I've had this on for a while here, and amazingly, look at that, I got my hand all around here. I could see why they didn't have to go with a passive, you know, mechanical heat fin kind of heat dissipation of any sort, because somehow it's doing it electronically. I don't know. They seem to have to heat stuff under a lot of control. So, pretty impressive. I've had other flashlights that only go to half the lumens as this. However, you wouldn't be able to do that. Kind of amazing. Look at that. You want an x-ray machine? Look at that. It's going right through my hand. Pretty amazing. Huh? That's what 3000 lumens will do. Quite amazing. So I do recommend it. Again, the link's below in the description box. $99 at GearBest. Highly recommend it. This was what you're looking for, a floodlight. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care. Bye-bye.